to talk more about fresh here, we have a local farmer here who is actually with the farmers market here, which is going on today still, I think until noon. So a lot of hustle and bustle of activity. So she brought some really great produce, all kinds of very cool things. So I think we're going to talk a little bit about the farmers market.
Yeah, it's great.
So welcome Meg Alexander.
Thanks.
She's joining us today. And so talk a little bit about the produce right now. I know it seems like we're a little bit ahead of the season because of the weather. It seems a little bit warmer earlier than usual. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. It has been an amazing spring, and it's a little tough right now with the drought, but right now this is sort of a cornucopia of what's at the market today.
Awesome.
And I bought it this morning, and it's from there's some things from my garden, and then as well as a lot of the other vendors at the farmers market.
Fantastic, because it shows kind of like all the different things that people have available at the farmers market. So it's not just produce, right?
Right. Yeah, there's some amazing things right now. As far as the produce goes, I've got peppers and broccoli and onions. These are 4 different types of heirloom tomatoes from my garden, eggs from my chickens. We've got sweet corn and a sugar-free pie that my friend made.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
a little heart and everything.
It's sweet, isn't it?
So
yeah.
Sweet.
And some beautiful flowers that some of my friends grow. And
if you'll notice, they actually have the flowers in a ball jar, one of the older, like antique blue color, which is beautiful and very popular right now. I know if you go out like on Pinterest and different things, people have the jars and showing all different creative uses for it. So there's another good one.
Yeah, and the jars are actually my grandma's.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now, did your grandmother can then?
She
take
did.
it? Okay.
She did. Yeah, both my grandma Love and my grandma Alexander can, and so it's. That process has been a part of my family culture for a long time.
Yeah. So what we're kind of talking about that, can you tell us a little bit about your first experience with canning? Okay.
Yeah, sure. It goes way back, and this jar actually when I yeah. You're fine.
It's so beautiful. I wanted to kind of show how we're storing all the beautiful tomatoes.
This jar, actually, when I was little, my grandma Alexander, we'd spend a week with her in the summer with my cousins, and we'd go to Bible school, and this is what she packed our lunch in and our drinks, and it's very Laura Ingalls Wilder style, and we loved it. It was so special, and I was so happy to find that because I've just moved back to my family's farm. And I've been there for about 2 years, my grandma and grandpa Alexander's farm, and have got it into a working farm again.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you actually helped get it back into working condition too?
And it
fantastic.
my grandparents passed away a few years ago, and it was the farm was kind of in limbo about where it was going to go, and so I decided that this was my calling, and so I decided to move back and start this garden and be a part of the farmers market.
That's
and
great.
It's amazing. It's really special to be in a place like that, and
definitely
be there on a daily basis. It's a lot different than when I was a kid, but it's really I feel really lucky to be there.
Yeah, and I know with canning, people always have that sense of pride, like I've done this myself. So you can say that about canning, and then also taking the farm and getting it back in working condition. You take pride in it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us kind of like a typical day, like at the farm, in the garden?
Sure,
What do you do?
Now for me, I'm just kind of starting out. I also have a day job. During the week I teach preschool.
Oh, so you're very busy.
Yeah. But gosh, in the morning, usually I'll get up a couple hours early before I have to go to work and water and weed and that kind of thing. And then when I get home, I kind of start in on that same thing. Right now, I'm doing a lot of watering and planting. And I've got in my garden right now, I've got about 60 different varieties of heirloom tomatoes.
Wow. And these are some of them?
And these are some of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the different ones?
Sure. The yellow are yellow Riesentraub.
Okay.
And
those are a little bit sweeter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're a new variety. We've grown, my family has grown the red for a long time, and so it was great to find that variety. And I get my seeds from a company called Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They're out of Missouri, and it's a family-run company.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and they just have amazing varieties. And then on the bottom here, there's one called, you might be able to, Indigo Rose.
Okay.
And that's a new blue tomato.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and
that's one I've never seen before. Actually.
Yeah.
And what's the flavor profile of that one?
Of the blue, it's a little kind of sweet and savory.
Sweet and savory. Ooh,
yeah,
and that's a good combo.
Yeah, yeah. And then the yellow, the little reds are called Coralic, and they're sugary sweet.
Okay.
So.
I think my friend actually has some of those, and she will just take it right off the plant, put some salt on it, and bite. Just go for it. I'm like, hey, that works too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to get them out of the garden.
That's for sure. And now that's fresh, right? When you're just taking it right off the plant and popping it in your mouth. So, well, those are fantastic.
Thank you.
So we talked a little bit about the tomatoes. Do you preserve any of the tomatoes then that you grow?
I do, and I did a lot of that last year. After the market on Saturdays, usually I'll have either some of the seconds I came home with, or when I was picking, that weren't quite up to par to bring to market, but still good. And then whatever I have left over from the market, I'll just get into canning on Saturdays and Sundays. And so I'll do whole tomatoes. I'll can. I'll do sun-dried tomatoes in my oven.
Ooh, that's fantastic.
And that's fun. Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. And I'll do spaghetti sauce and green beans, canning green beans, and actually I made. There's a really great pickle recipe that's a refrigerator pickles.
Oh yeah,
so
make it super simple, right? If you're kind of new to it and you don't want to go through the canning process, that'd be a great way to preserve it still.
That's that's a great way. I've done that. I have at my preschool, I have a school garden, and we made refrigerator pickles with my preschoolers.
Oh, that's and the kids can do
that. Was great. Yeah.
That's really cool to show kids. You can grow your own produce and actually turn it into something that you can enjoy and eat and share with friends and family.
Yeah.
So even at a young age, that's something they can kind of help with. I know I've gone to some schools and done the freezer jam using the fresh berries, and they can help kind of crush the berries and kind of stir to make the jam. And because there's no cooking, you don't have to worry about the heat or anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they do.
So what is your all-time favorite recipe to can, if you had to pick one?
Oh, gosh. I would say probably my grandma's applesauce.
The applesauce? That's a popular one.
Yeah, it goes way back in my family. And I remember as a little girl, at the farm I live at now, crushing up the apples on the table and
getting
cooking
a little
them down.
messy.
Yeah. And my grandma Love used to always throw Red Hots in them. And so
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've even heard of people doing that for one of the pickle recipes too that we have. It's a little bit older one. So it's kind of a sweet pickle recipe, and then you get the heat from the cinnamon candies.
Yeah,
so kind of
but
cool.
It is amazing come January or February when it's so cold and there's just nothing garden fresh in sight, and you open that jar of tomatoes and it smells like summer.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
And you kind of close your eyes and it brings back all the memories of summer and warm weather and all the delicious fresh produce.
Yeah.
And that's like we like to tell people, and there's so many people that have been reaching out to us that are new because they want to take the fresh stuff from the farmer's market or their garden and they want to turn it into something that they can enjoy in the winter.
Yeah.
So that's something that people come to us and like, how do I get started? Because I want that experience that you're talking about. So are you seeing a trend in people starting to want to eat more local and want to eat more fresh produce? Because we're kind of seeing that. I wanted to get your take on what you're kind of seeing.
Yeah. With this, the Minnetrista market is really amazing, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, and so proud to be a part of it. Yes. And I grow for my customers. I've gotten to know them so well that I can kind of, especially in the spring, I do heirloom tomato plants and heirloom pepper plants, and so they can buy them to start their own garden
that way.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and several people they'll come and ask for a certain kind, and so I kind of keep that in mind for the next year when I order seeds. And But it is amazing, and it's so neat to be able to tell my story, and they are really interested in where it comes from.
Yes,
and
very important.
Yeah,
very important to people.
Yeah, and what you use. I grow sustainably, so I use compost and fish emulsion and earthworm castings, and pretty natural.
That's fantastic. Yeah,
and
that's great.
so they're really interested and happy about that. I'm gardening and farming that way.
Right.
And so
makes them feel good. They know they can come to you and ask those questions because it is so personal.
Yeah.
And they really do know where their food is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's really, I'm really happy. I really enjoy talking to the customers and
building those relationships too is very important.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A sense of community. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing. I was known as the tomato lady last summer. Now I've been called the carrot lady because I've been growing 6 or 7 different kinds of heirloom carrots, so just all different
like the
colors.
purple ones.
Yeah,
and I've seen those. I've never tried one, so I know who to come to now.
Yeah. And I had some yellow ones earlier a couple weeks back, and it's so neat. That kind of customer told me that she comes to the market just for my carrots.
Oh, doesn't that make you feel good?
It makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel like, it keeps me going.
Exactly.
And I have an amazing support group of family and friends that either come at the end of the market and help me pack up.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Or come help me pick on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm sure Friday nights are very busy.
Yeah. Or my one of my best friends leaves me little real sweet Post-it notes around my house about to support me for the market. And I have this amazing family too that's so happy I'm back, and my parents are an amazing help. And so it's been really great to be back here in Indiana and be back on my family farm.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Well, it's great been talking with you today, and it's a pleasure to see you because we do know each other from high school. So talk about a sense of community. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Meg. Thank you so much for sharing not only all the great produce and kind of sharing us tips and tricks, but also sharing all your personal stories. Because I know that's really important to us as well as all the viewers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right.